Hello, my name is Philip Brunelle, Artistic Director and founder of Vocal Essence and choirmaster organist at Plymouth Congregational Church in Minneapolis. Each day, I've taken a different composer who has had a role to play at both organizations, and today it's the English composer Gustav Holst. Holst was born in 1874, died in 1934. He is a man who had immense number of interests. He, of course, was a teacher. He taught at Morley College and then famously at St. Paul's School, where the orchestral piece that people know, the St. Paul's Suite, originated. He studied Sanskrit and took a number of Rig Veda texts and set them for women's voices and harp. He was fascinated by folk song, especially because of what had happened during the period of English madrigals in the Renaissance. So he set a number of those kinds of pieces. And he was also interested in astrology, but we'll talk about that a little bit later. On one of his visits to the United States, he visited Harvard University, and the wonderful male chorus there fascinated him, and he wrote a number of beautiful songs for them. So I'd like to play part of one of those. It's a piece called Good Friday. It is a text that was translated from medieval Latin by Helen Waddell, a terrific translator and writer herself. And this particular piece, which begins very much sternly, gloomily, because it is Good Friday, but finally the last measures, it becomes very boisterous and says in the last words, "To win the laughter of thine Easter day," and we suddenly come into C major. Music of Gustav Holst. Gustav Holst's Good Friday. I mentioned that he was interested in astrology, and of course, probably his most well-known work is a piece called The Planets. I became fascinated with that partly because my uncle's brother, Clyde Tombaugh, was the man who discovered the planet Pluto many years ago. That's another long and wonderful story. And it was in 1974, our 5th season of Vocal Essence, that it was the Gustav Holst centenary. So we did a whole big Gustav Holst concert, and people were fascinated with the arrangement of music and the styles of things that he had done. One of his great pieces is a piece that he wrote called The Hymn to Jesus, which was again a very mystical kind of piece. It had chorus, big orchestra, and in the back balcony, it had a treble choir singing these amens as if they were angels in heaven. Absolutely wonderful piece. We repeated it some years later at Orchestra Hall. I remember that Sigrid Johnson had the women from St. Olaf College as that amen group in the back of the hall. So over the years, I don't know how many times Holst's music has appeared at Plymouth Church and at Vocal Essence. But one of the things that he also was fascinated with, of course, was writing music for seasons. Probably his most well-known Christmas piece, you all know. In the bleak midwinter. But he also took an old English folk song called Christmas Day in the Morning. Not Christmas Day, but it was Christmas Day in the Morning. And he wrote this piano piece called Christmas Day in the Morning. Have a wonderful day.